So, hey guys, or hey miss. Uh, Today, I'll be showing you how to solve a function. So, to solve a function, we have to get the domain range, vertical asymptote, horizontal asymptote, and the x-intercept and y-intercept. So, domain. All you have to do for the domain is just to get the denominator and it and uh and use 0 as the equivalent of it. So x minus 4 is equals to 0. That's what I meant. So now we just transpose 4 over there, and now we get x is equals to 4 over there. And now we use the 4 as all real numbers except for 4. This is how we get the domain. That's why we're doing this, to find out what is not a valid point per se for the graph. So range is going to be or how I would solve it is basically this: x plus 7 and x minus 4. How I would solve for the range, solve the range is basically looking here. Is to check if there is any numbers beside the numerator and denominator's x. So since there's none, it's automatically 1. So now that's equivalent to 1, since 1 over 1 is 1, of course. And now it is going to be all real numbers except for 1. Now that we know what numbers are exempted from the graph, we now know what are the vertical asymptotes and the horizontal asymptotes. That's because the vertical and horizontal asymptotes are basically lines that the graph is not allowed to touch. So the domain's number is equivalent to the vertical asymptote, which is 4. The horizontal asymptote is equivalent to the range, which is 1. So now, looking for the x-intercept, we have to get the numerator this time to be equivalent to 0. So that's x plus 7 equals to 0. Now, transpose 7, and you're going to get x is equals to negative 7. And this is what we're going to use for our x-intercept. Sorry. So that is negative 7 and 0. That is going to be our first point for the graph. This is yeah. So y-intercept, we have to replace x with 0. So that's f of x is equals to 0 plus 7 and 0 minus 4. So now that's equivalent to 7 over negative 4. And that is going to be our y-intercept. 7, 4. There. Good. So now we are going to look for the table of signs. There you go. Okay, so the numbers that we're going to use here are the x-intercept, intercept, and the domain. So -7 and 4. So since -7 is a negative and 4 is the positive, meaning 7 is lower than 4. So how we're going to arrange this is 7 and 4. So now the numbers that we're gonna use for the table is, for the left, any number that is lower than -7. So from -infinity to -7, or yeah, infinity to anything lower than 7. So let's try -8 here. So for the center, any number that's between -7 and 4, whether or not it's positive or negative, it doesn't really matter. So I guess now we're going to use 0 since it's between both of them. And for the one at the very end here, the far right, we're going to use 5 since the number over here should be anything higher than 4. So it's from 4 to positive infinity. Sorry for the background noises. My brother is having his classes right now. So now we are to find the symbols, to find the signs. I mean, we are going to use the numerator and denominator here. And we're going to use the numbers that we selected over here to replace the x. So, -8 plus 7 is -1. And we're going to use the sign of the result. So, since it's negative, it's going to be negative. Subtraction sign, subtraction symbol. So, -8 minus 4 is -12, which is negative. 0 plus 7 is 7, which is positive. 0 minus 4 is equals to -4, which is negative. 5 plus 7 is 12, which is positive, positive 12. And 5 minus 4 is 1, which is positive. Now, what we're going to do is multiply the symbols over here. So, negative times negative is positive. Positive times negative is negative. Positive times positive is positive. So now these are our symbols. So, our signs, I mean. That's positive, negative, positive. So now, let's now head straight to the graphing. Here we go. Let's just make a thing over here. I don't think it really matters if it's equivalent or not. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. The points that we're gonna use is this one and this one, or x and y intercepts. Those are gonna be the points for the graph, or first points for the graph. So x-intercept is -7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, sakto lang. And y-intercept is -7/4, which is equivalent to 1/3/4. So now we're just going to 1 and just pin above the second one. So now here is where the vertical and horizontal asymptotes come in. The vertical asymptote is 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is where the line will be placed. Go. You're adding a line here because this is where our graph is allegedly supposed to end or not touch. Horizontal asymptote is 1, so here, the y-axis. And if you didn't notice, the vertical asymptote is supposed to be in the x-axis, and the horizontal asymptote is supposed to be in the y-axis, since vertical and horizontal, you know. So now we're just going to make the graph, and just going to trace the graph. So like that. Just make sure for it not to touch the horizontal and vertical lines. So now that's it. That is how you get the domain and range of the function vertical and horizontal asymptote, the x-intercept, the y-intercept, and the table of signs, and the graph itself. So that's it. Thank you guys. Bye.